Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Eurasian Creative Guild, greatly respected members of the expert jury of the competition, let me introduce myself. My literary name is Galina Verd. I represent Odessa, Ukraine. I am taking part in the competition for the first time, and it's a great honor for me to be among the shortlisted participants in the Literature for Children nomination, which is dedicated for the name of Maria Schwell for 2020. In my video presentation, I have to tell a little about myself. I write literature in different styles and directions for adult and children, poems, stories, songs, literary translations of poems. The main languages are Russian and Ukrainian. There are several poems in English too. I also do illustrations a little. I took part in various almanacs of Ukrainian and Russian origin. My poems were published in the New York newspaper for immigrants, Reporter, and in the French literary magazine Litercon. In the nearest future, the book of my poems from different years is being prepared for release. It's called Ocean Between the Lines. This book is for adults and in Russian, but I would also like to grow up a children's direction in my creativity. At the moment, about half of my work has been written specially for children. All these poems and tales can be found in the internet freely. Many are used in the kindergartens and schools, at concerts, in various competitions, and I am very pleased that my work serves for children and their parents. Now I would like to briefly tell you about my work presented for the competition. It's called The Black Hole. It is a story which is a psychological fairy tale intended not only for children but also for adults, people of any age. It's about how to overcome one of the most serious problems that are possible in our life, the loss of close people. Often we push it aside from ourselves thoughts about negativity on everyday life, trying to avoid painful things and as much as possible. And in the end, when trouble happens, we are not ready to perceive it. We try to get away from negativity, but in fact, we accumulate it inside ourselves, creating a black hole invisible to all people around us, which sucks out of us the sunlight of hope for a happy life. It is an uncontrolled fear that it is difficult to deal with without realizing it, and only after accepting what happened and coming eye to eye with our inner darkness, we can take control on our life and move on, turning our grief into a small stone that can be stored in the pocket of our heart and taken out when we want to be alone with ourselves and to remember about our loved ones with warm sadness. Unfortunately, no one has immunity from such terrible losses. I wish no one ever to meet with such a black hole in his life. But if this happens, even with a child, you need to know how to act, how not to lose yourself. Get up and move on. And for this help, we need such novels. I have tried to write this story in a manner that is as accessible for children as possible. I have animated and endowed with human features an animal, a squirrel, which most vividly embodies the carefree red-haired hopper, which we ourselves often are, especially at a young age. I hope my work will be useful for many people who had read it. Best regards from me to all the participants.